Okay, so this is called The Edge of Tomorrow. Wait, no, sorry. It's called The Edge of Glory. No, sorry. The Edge of Mystery. That's a stupid title for an episode or anything. The Edge of Mystery. Even the people who make the terrible names for Conan opening themes would find that embarrassing. And English isn't even their first language.
I'm honestly trying to figure out for context for the episode, because most of the others have a fairly clear context aside from maybe A View in the Dark. Like, I'm guessing as far as anything, this applies to just the very end of the episode. That's a mystery, and they're at the edge of something, maybe? I don't know.
They're on the edge of nothing, because then they end up in the desert. That's as far from an edge as you can do.
I only get there after most of these episodes consist of people making terrible, terrible decisions.
Yes, this is the terrible decision episode block. Okay, so maybe I should go over what actually happens in this episode.
Yeah, well, I mean, it starts off with Jarvis clearly not being in a position to be making calm and rational decisions.
There's many things that happen. So this is one of those episodes where it's hard to get a grasp of what happens in this episode because it jumps around so much. But best as I could put it, guess as I could get it written down at least. So the situation in this episode is that Whitney Frost has Jason handcuffed, and he tries to work with him to solve things. Honestly, all I got from this scene is that Whitney is a paranoid, crazy person who's maybe self-aware of this fact.
Well, it's Wilk's turn in the bondage dungeon.
I suppose it is.
She's definitely dropping all the ethical standards when it comes to her scientific research.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Carter and Sousa go after Manfredi, aka the best character.
He is, he's an awful human being, but he's so entertaining. But, seriously, do people have that accent in real life?
I hope so.
Because he is such, a cartoon character of a mobster.
Yes.
That somehow looks like a living human. Especially the facial expressions he has on in most scenes.
He needs to be 3 feet tall and to be threatening Bugs Bunny.
Why doesn't he have a comically oversized cigar dangling out of his mouth
yes,
at all times?
Exactly.
That's the only thing missing at this point.
You see, Carter. Again, I can't do accents.
It's right down to having the overbearing, incredibly Italian mother who tries to casually murder people in the kitchen.
Yes. Yeah. So, Sousa and Carter go after him, and it's basically to give him a message to give to Frost. And that message is to set up an exchange of Jason for the Moranium rods. That's what I heard them as, so that's why I'm going to call them as Moranium rods. This is a canon crossover with Xenoblade right now. Factual. Put it in the wiki.
As a side note, I just enjoy when Manfredi and his mother they're so into their argument that they don't notice Peggy just, wrecking shit in the background.
Yes, that was great.
Which is, it's never a visual thing that I don't enjoy. What was I watching recently that had a lot of that? Was just, something going on in the foreground, whereas, in the background, a fight is going on, or, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Saw that movie recently. That was very good. And I had a lot of scenes where you're watching two people having a quiet conversation in the foreground, whereas somehow silently behind them there's a huge fight going on, or at one point a guy's set on fire, or just this. They're somehow entirely missing everything that's going on behind them. I'm never not entertained by that.
Yeah, that type of stuff's quite fun. So Whitney, Sousa, and Jarvis make the exchange. But then it's revealed that they gave them fake rods, and the bad guys follow them, but suspiciously slow. When suddenly Wilkes, of all people, pulls out a shotgun, and Peggy and Sousa demanding to know where they are, with Sousa revealing it to save Peggy's life. Because shotguns and threats are the most romantic storytelling. I just did a giant thumbs up for that. Sarcastically, surprisingly. Now, later, FBI...
You see what I mean about everybody making poor life choices?
Yes.
Including giving what you believe to be volatile radium rods to apparently the clumsiest butterfingers of a henchman that you have.
Yeah. So, FBI man from FBI land helps Frost and tricks Thompson with the memory erasing device when he starts to catch on. Which, to be fair, he might as well not have had a memory in the first place because, wow, he turned out to be a bad guy. Shocked. Guess Thompson never saw that one coming.
He has gone back and forth so many times in these episodes. Like on the one hand, he's finally kind of interesting because he's actually doing something, and you have no idea where his loyalties lie. The problem is because you have no idea where his loyalties lie or what his actual goals are, it's very difficult to get a read on him as a character. Like, it's very hard to get a read on his actions beyond that he shows up in a scene to make everything worse, generally, and to get, betray everybody to each other.
Yes. Now, Peggy and friends, as I'll call it, try to go after Frost, but she already sets off a zero-matter explosion. Now this sends Wilkes... Now Wilkes is taken back to his home planet. And Jarvis goes for revenge while the Gamma Cannon gets ready. Now it is fired and Wilkes comes back up. But then Jarvis comes in and shoots Whitney, but then she reheals and then they are captured. Good job. Also thumbs up.
Yeah, this whole episode I'm like, Jarvis, do not be... just knew he was going to do something stupid in the name of revenge. Just like, this man is clearly not in a level-headed position to be... Like, make him stay with Anna, bring Rose. I want more Field Agent Rose in my life, please.
To be fair, when they did that just casual, like, far-away shot, and he just casually just kills her. Shot. If she had died, that would make Jarvis my favorite character ever. Just casually, just murder. Just, you're gonna die. Just dead. Just do like a Looney Tunes the end credit. That would have been amazing.
That would have been a ridiculous troll ending to the show.
That would have made me so happy. Just out of sheer absurdity. So that was this episode.
And, then at the end, the henchmen knock out Peggy and Jarvis, so can we take her? Which every time I see that happen on TV, I'm like, oh god, you know how easily you could brain damage them forever doing that. Like, it's... Every time someone just in fiction gets, knocked out by getting a blow to the head, and we're just like, oh, because, if you're unconscious from a blow to the head to more than 2 minutes, I think, you definitely have brain damage. And, for too much longer than that, you are definitely going to die. Every time I see it, I'm just like, oh, that's not good for you.
Though that might explain a certain thing that happens in the next episode.
Yes. Are we talking about both episodes right now? We just stick with episode 8.
No, just stick to this one. Screw their schedule. We're not following their schedule.
Oh, bad decisions ever. Couldn't we get at one point, Thompson just takes a hop to England because
that was my favorite part.
Just for London, just to make absolutely certain you know where he is. He comes staggering drunkenly out of a pub with the most, English drunk in all of England.
Yeah.
And they stand outside a shop with a giant crown emblazoned in the window.
That was amazing. That was amazing, just for sheer randomness. He's just in London for no reason. Well, there is a reason, but when it just starts, you're like, wait, what? When did this happen? Did we miss a scene? Several scenes?
Just him getting that folder, which is almost entirely blacked out, about Peggy being involved with the massacre of civilians or something. The show's quite unclear about what this file is and whether it's real or not, because I think Peggy claims at one point that it's forged.
It's pretty blatantly forged. Like, everything's pointing to that pretty clearly.
Yeah, so, but, yeah, it kind of gets skimmed over quite quickly to say, now we all have dirt on each other, hey. And I'm just like, at what point was Peggy blackmailing you, dude, about your work? Like, when did that happen?
Well, he feels blackmailed because he's gotten all the success for things she's done, essentially.
Probably. So, just the continuing litany of Jack Thompson being a dick.
Yes, and yes. I have a lot of other notes to this. I did like how it started with the cool flashback to the season 1, this time from Jarvis's end.
It's definitely getting to see Anna and getting to see the early stages of, you know, how Jarvis's friendship with Peggy affected the two of them.
Yeah. And right after that, that did lead to my to a great line. Just Anna, just like she came back from, I believe, an art class. Like, next week we get nudes, and it's just very casually, how very progressive.
It's a smirk when she says that. I adore Anna. I'm so happy she's not dead.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, that actually might be the best scene of the whole episode, if not the whole season, is just the way Jarvis looks in the hospital right at the beginning. Like, fuck, that's just, like, he just looks exhausted, and it's...
Yeah, you really feel so, you feel close to tears on his behalf, because he looks so tired and so ill and so upset. Just, and so scared.
Like, that might actually just be I'd go so far as to say that's the best performance of this entire series. Like, that was heartbreakingly good.
And I love the scene where Anna wakes up just when he's going through his litany of promises, and I knew when I heard him repeatedly saying, I promise this, I promise that, if she woke up during it, she'd be saying, don't make promises you can't keep.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But it's just lovely. She's like, I woke up around St. Bernard, but I thought I would see what I could get.
Yeah. My notes eventually turn into, Edwin and Anna are adorable, but fucking hell.
They're so cute, but it's also I'm so mad when you're showing that Jarvis gave Rose his last will and testament. Like, dude, if you think there's such a strong chance of you going off and dying, don't do it. How much do you really think it's going to help Anna if you go get dead? Like, seriously.
Yeah.
I always get mad at fictional characters doing that shit, like throwing everything away for revenge. And I'm like, oh, you know, if you get revenge and you die doing it, that doesn't do jack shit for the other people who are still alive. Just so you know. But yeah, she is adorable, and her hair is adorable. And I'm hoping the writers handle this well, because they're, naming no names that were evolved elsewhere in the Avengers canon, but sterility in women can sometimes be handled horrifically badly in ways that are very dehumanizing for them. And I'm glad that they don't seem to have gone with that. Like, Jarvis is clearly hoping that he and Anne would have kids someday. Well, they can just raise Howard's for him, since I don't think he'll be there that much. But they don't seem to have gone into, dehumanizing Anna or completely destroying her over it, which is nice. But it still manages to be... So it means Anna doesn't die, which I'm all for, but it still manages to make a huge and painful impact on her and her husband's lives. Which, is driving all of Jarvis's very bad choices in the next couple episodes.
There was a point in this episode where I realized that Jack Thompson is like Leonardo DiCaprio's long-lost asshole cousin. This makes a lot of sense to me. I did kind of I did love the line where I believe Carter said, "You're better than that," and I just put, "I disagree."
Yeah, me and my brother were watching that, and she's like, "You're better than that," and we both immediately were like, "No, he's not." No one believes for a minute that Jack Thompson is better than that.
No.
Also, the response was when Wilkes showed that he could control whether or not he's solid at will, apparently now, and he just kind of pops through the wall of the van. We're just like, did he just Kitty Pryde? Like, Marvel has no rights to Kitty Pryde, so they have to make a Kitty Pryde that looks as unlike Kitty Pryde as possible. Like, just get a big tall black guy instead of a wee Jewish girl.
that would make me laugh if that was true.
I'm so freaked out by Wilkes after he got zooped by the Zero Matter and heard the voices or the drums or whatever it was. And, when you see him on the ground, first, is it just me or does his head seem to have swollen somewhat?
Yes.
It seemed like he had a really huge forehead. And also you could see his skin bubbling in some shots, and I'm like, oh, nope.
I did love the line when during the deal that pretty much summed up Peggy and Frost's relationship as best as it could. But she's like, yes, you're such a staunch defender of the sisterhood. I can tell by the way you shot an innocent woman. And she's all, oh, occasionally sacrifices must be made.
Yeah, and you go, oh, two such intelligent women like us. Well, you don't have any respect for Anna's intelligence or ability to make, weapon-hiding jewelry and underwear. Yeah, Peggy just shuts that down immediately. She's like, you shot an unarmed woman solely to slow Peggy down. Like, that was not a necessary sacrifice.
It's almost like Whitney Frost is being a hypocrite or something.
Yeah, she's gone way... Like, Peggy is so defensive of the idea that Wilkes isn't thinking straight in his head. He's being entirely controlled by the zero matter. But she's pretty much dropped trying to convince Whitney that she's also having her thinking warped by the zero matter and that maybe she cannot be evil. Because, yeah, Whitney is so far obsessed with getting her zero matter by this point, and that obsession has clearly leaked over into Wilkes, whether it's because of the fact that he's gotten more zero matter or simply because he's getting more and more desperate to, find anything to change what he's turning into.
Oh dear. So, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, so, based on this scene, it seems Whitney has gone from men inside her to fake rods. If this wasn't so easy, I wouldn't keep this up.
Just keeps going.
Like, they're just handing it over to me at this point. It's way too easy. I didn't even have to think about it.
The moment that made me laugh that I regret is, when Peggy and Sousa are arguing about, arguing about whether or not Sousa should have told Wilkes about the uranium to save Peggy's life, and they're arguing about, if it was reversed, would you let him shoot me? And Jack Thompson just like, if it were me, I'd have let him blow you both away. Oh god, I just laughed at something Thompson said.
Yes, that's my exact note here. Is that Jack Thompson is a twat, but he almost redeems himself by doing that. Because that was actually really funny.
It's like, still like him better than the love triangle. Again, it's not so much like, it's the fact that he's actually being interesting by doing shit instead of rather being apparently just entirely a pawn of Masters, but seriously, what the fuck is his agenda? What is he doing with his life? Oh, also laughed quite hard at the return of Do As Peggy Says.
And...
Because, that's important. Only Jarvis would listen to that, eh?
Yeah, I think that's about it for this episode. I have a feeling both of us will have a bit more to say about the next one, though.
I have thoughts about the next episode.
They exist.
I will say every time Wilkes and Whitney talk about hearing voices, they're talking about voices, but every time they do it, me and my brother still just like.
Okay, that's about it. We'll see you next time, which for you will be a week, and for us will be 5 seconds.